Days after lifting the embargo on the vaccine raw materials, US President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a telephonic conversation that the latter termed as fruitful. Modi thanked US President for assistance being provided by US to India in its battle against COVID. Modi and Biden have discussed the evolving COVID situation in both the countries in absolute detail. In the call, the Prime Minister emphasized that India-US healthcare partnership can address the global challenge of COVID. During this discussion, Prime Minister also underlined the importance of smooth and efficient supply chain for vaccine raw materials and medicines. US on Sunday agreed to lift the embargo on vaccine exports, the raw material exports. The Biden government has now assured supply of therapeutics, rapid diagnostic test kits, even ventilators, PPE kits to help India's fight against COVID.
India's vaccine Maitri finally paying off. The world which received medicines and vaccines from India is now returning the favor, chipping in with oxygen and other COVID fighting tools. India's Quad ally, the United States, bowed after facing much flack after initially denying vaccine raw material. It took a call from NSA Ajit Doval to his US counterpart to bring a U-turn in the United States stand. In a major diplomatic victory, President Joe Biden tweeted out a list of measures and support coming India's way. Meanwhile, the first batches of high-capacity container shipment that landed in Delhi were from Singapore and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's Linde company is working with the Adani Group and the Tata Group to provide liquid oxygen and containers. Russia, UAE, Hong Kong, Singapore, Germany, France, Denmark and the European Union are trying to first look into the oxygen shortage being faced by India and are looking to provide oxygen concentrators and increase transportation capabilities.
As a friend, Denmark is a friend, and Denmark companies are a friend of India. So when we heard about this shortage of oxygen, we looked into how we could supply and help and assist India. So now there is a concrete or tangible cooperation between the Indian government and Maersk to assist India in bringing these oxygen tanks to India.
India has pressed the Indian Air Force into action. IAF transport planes are airlifting 23 mobile oxygen generation plants from Germany. Other countries are also stepping up. The UK announced more than 600 pieces of medical equipment in form of COVID-19 assistance to India.
We've been working this weekend to put together a package of support which is now on its way to India of ventilators and oxygen concentrators to help to save lives right now. This shows that this disease isn't over yet.
Even China and Pakistan are stepping in to help.
印度国内近期疫情形势恶化，表示诚挚慰问。中国政府和中国人民坚定支持印度政府和人民抗击疫情，愿根据印方需求提供支持与帮助，正就此同印方保持沟通。
Pakistan also has offered ventilators and other medical equipments as gesture of solidarity. But there has been no response from New Delhi yet on the offer. With Geeta Mohan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Just days ahead of COVID-19 vaccine rollout for all above 18 years of age, India Today has learned the centre has asked Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech to explore the possibility of lowering vaccine prices to the states in an effort to ensure that vaccine reaches to all stratas of society. Moreover, sources have told India Today that Bharat Biotech, after centre's request, is likely to reduce the prices of Covaxin for the states. But so far, no consensus has been achieved on reducing the price of the vaccine to help the private hospitals. Remember, this development is coming after several political parties corner the centre over high prices of vaccines being sold in the states compared to the centre. As of now, Bharat Biotech's Covaxin is being sold at 1,200 rupees per dose to private hospitals and 600 rupees per dose to state government. The Serum Institute of India and Oxford AstraZeneca's Covishield is being sold at 600 rupees per dose to private hospitals and 400 per dose to state government. The first line of treatment against coronavirus is now oxygen, and right now oxygen supplies are desperately inadequate. As per the reports, the empowered group of officers under Dr. V.K. Paul has informed authorities to prepare a backup plan for more oxygen supply in the wake of the expected surge. Dr. Paul has informed authorities to take urgent measures for augmenting oxygen supply to meet the surge of 5 lakh daily cases by the end of April. After Maharashtra, Gujarat and Delhi, the centre has projected that Uttar Pradesh is slated to report more than 1.9 lakh, almost 2 lakh cases every day by the end of April. The daily shortage of isolation beds with oxygen in UP has been projected at around 16,752, while ICU beds would fall short by 3,061 and at least 1,538 ventilators would be required to fight the battle against COVID. Amidst the oxygen crisis raised by Delhi and few other states on Monday, the MHA officials stated that there is no need to create panic, although he admits that they are facing transportation problems. No beds, no oxygen. People in Delhi have been left to battle for the survival of their loved ones, sparing no effort to give them a shot at life. India Today's Ankit Tyagi visited an oxygen refilling site, and here is what he found out.
62-year-old Ramesh Bhatia is waiting in an auto rickshaw outside an oxygen refilling plant in Narayana Vihar in the national capital. He is COVID positive and has difficulty in breathing. Since last night, he has been turned away by 6 hospitals.
हम 5-6 जगह ट्राई करा, मैं कुछ नहीं। मनीपाल में उन्होंने कहा कि आप जाइए, बेकार टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, आप यहाँ पे टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, आप कहीं और जाके ट्राई करिए। और ढूंढने से तो भगवान मिल जाते हैं, हमें तो कोई भगवान नहीं मिले, हमें तो फिर वहीं पे ही आके खड़ा कर दिया। एक्चुअली ऑक्सीजन उनकी 63 हो गई है, तो 63 हो गई, बहुत डिफिकल्ट है। हाँ, उन्होंने ही लगाया था, डॉक्टर ने ही लगाई थी। अब हम लोगों ने सोचा कि अब ये सिलेंडर लेकर घर जाएंगे, थोड़ा स्टेबल हो जाएंगे तो फिर कल देखेंगे कि कोई हॉस्पिटल में जगह मिलती है, क्योंकि अभी तो उनकी कंडीशन ही नहीं है कि वो हॉस्पिटल में जा पाए।
Bhatia's wife and daughter are waiting for a refill of oxygen so that they can give him a fighting chance at home.
इनको बेड नहीं दिया गया, ना सिलेंडर का कोई इंतजाम नहीं किया गया। इन्होंने कहा ऑक्सीजन भरवा दो, फिर हमें घर छोड़ो, घर छोड़ेंगे, देखो क्या होता है। कोशिश मेरी यही रहेगी कि इनका काम बन जाए, बाकी उस परमात्मा के हाथ में है जो कुछ भी है।
This lady, Neena Bhatia, has been told by hospitals after hospitals, try and search for bed at somewhere else. If you try and search, you'll even get God. Possibly getting God, searching for God in Delhi is easier right now than to get a hospital bed. The police here are guarding the most precious commodity in Delhi right now. Hundreds wait outside to refill these empty cylinders, risking contracting COVID themselves. All so that their loved ones suffering and struggling from COVID can breathe a little longer.
हम रात को 2 बजे से यहाँ खड़े हैं, अब हमारा नंबर आ रहा है सर। हमारे पेशेंट हॉस्पिटल में नहीं लिए जा रहे, ऑक्सीजन हॉस्पिटल में जा रही है, तो ये बताओ हम कहाँ जाएंगे? हमें डॉक्टर कह रहा है आप घर पे इलाज कराओ, तो हम कैसे देंगे ऑक्सीजन? ये तो बता दो, ये सरकार से पूछ लो भैया क्या चाह रही है।
No beds, no oxygen. Common people are left to battle for survival of their loved ones, sparing no effort to give them a shot at life.
उसको सिर्फ अस्थमा अटैक आया था स्टार्टिंग में, उसको कोई लेने को तैयार नहीं था। हमने बोला एटलीस्ट उसको सिर्फ बैठे बैठे आप चेक कर लो। 2 घंटे रात में पूरे घूमे, कोई हॉस्पिटल लेने को तैयार नहीं। एक हॉस्पिटल लेने को तैयार हुआ, बोलता सीधा 50,000 मांग रहा है। मतलब कम से कम बैठ के चेक तो कर लो, और बोलता है मास्क पहनो। भाई अस्थमा पेशेंट है, वो सांस नहीं ले पा रहा, एटलीस्ट वो चेक तो, उसको सांस तो 2-1 मिनट के लिए।
मेरे बहुत सारे रिलेटिव हैं इस टाइम जो ऑक्सीजन के रिक्वायरमेंट है, जिनको घर पे ही ट्रीट कर रहे हैं।
ऑक्सीजन की आवश्यकता है उनको।
बिल्कुल। मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ आज सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से, दोनों से, ऑल पॉलिटिशियंस। डिबेट तो बड़े अच्छे कर लेते हैं हर न्यूज़ चैनल पे आके, राइट? टुडे वेयर इज आरपी सिंह, वेयर इज राघव चड्ढा, वेयर इज बीजेपी, वेयर इज आम आदमी पार्टी? कोई भी नहीं है यहाँ पर। पॉलिटिशियन डोंट केयर अबाउट अ कॉमन मैन एट ऑल, उनको कोई मतलब नहीं है।
Without food or water, standing in the queue with precious time passing away for their loved ones is taking its toll. As the police allow those with small cylinders, people rush in. The police are demanding paper proper work as they fear hoarding. The situation is so bad that not just the common people but hospitals have sent their ambulances, which are meant to transport patients right now, to try and get a refill, to try and get cylinders back to the hospitals. Long hours of wait turn into frustration, leading to arguments. Everyone here is desperate, racing against time. And then a notice came. No refilling from 27th.
जो भी हैं उनसे लिखवा के लाए कि भाई इतने सिलेंडर की जरूरत है, तो उसको वेरीफाई करके फिर वो दिया जाएगा। होल्डिंग कर रहे हैं, यहाँ से ले जा रहे हैं और सिलेंडर बाहर बेच रहे हैं। इसको दुरुस्त व्यवस्था करने के लिए ये जरूरी है अपने कंसर्न एरिया एसएचओ से रिकमेंड करवा के लाए कि इनको इस सिलेंडर में इतने हॉस्पिटल में इतने सिलेंडर की जरूरत है।
नंबर आ रहा है और उसमें भी अभी डिले हो रहा है और अभी कल से बंद हो जाएगा, तो पेशेंट तो हमारे घर पे भी जिसकी हालत गंभीर है।
From tomorrow, the struggle will continue at some other site as the city continues to grapple with lack of oxygen. Sense of anger, the abandonment at the hands of the government, the big question that all of them are asking, why is it that something as basic as oxygen, which is important in the fight against COVID-19 to save the patients, was not kept in adequate quantity, and why are so many people struggling to get the basic things needed for survival? With camera person Dinesh Ankityagi in Narayana, India Today.
Is Maharashtra finally flattening the curve? Maharashtra reported over 48,000 fresh COVID cases and 524 deaths in the last 24 hours. The number of new cases witnessed a steep decline of over 17,000 cases in comparison with Sunday, when over 66 people were found positive. Mumbai has witnessed a rise of 3,876 new infections and 70 deaths in 24 hours. The number of cases in Mumbai, which is also one of the major hotspots, saw a steep fall in the number of cases for the second day. The Maharashtra government earlier tightened COVID restrictions, with public and private transport allowed only for essential services and emergencies, and 14-day mandatory home quarantine for people who are travelling inter-district. The new restrictions are going to be coming into force from 1st of May. Maharashtra remains the worst impacted state in the country, whose COVID woes seem to have no end. The second worst affected district, Nagpur, has something even bigger to worry about. With its health infrastructure crumbling, the positivity rate in Nagpur has now breached the 30% mark. Here's the ground report.
Mumbai is on the mend, but rest of the Maharashtra is reeling under a COVID wave. Along with an unprecedented surge in cases, the state has another big worry, and that comes from the city of Nagpur. Nagpur, the second worst affected district in the state after Pune, has a crisis looming over its head. Positivity rate in Nagpur has reached an alarming 32%. That means roughly 1 out of every 3 people tested turn out to be positive. Nagpur has over 75,000 active cases. Its health infrastructure has completely crumbled. From oxygen,
कि अभी ऑक्सीजन की डिमांड भी बढ़ रही है, इवन बेड्स नहीं बढ़ा है तब भी बढ़ रही है, क्योंकि कुछ सीवियरिटी जो भी है पेशेंट्स के अंदर में, तो वो भी हम लोग मैच करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
To hospital beds.
पहले हम उनको वाड़ी से लता मंगेशकर लेके गए थे हिंगना में, तो वहाँ पे बोले बेड अवेलेबल नहीं है क्योंकि उनको आईसीयू में डालना पड़ेगा, तो आप मेडिकल लेके जाओ। अभी मेडिकल में केसेस ज़्यादा बढ़ रहे हैं, केसेस बढ़ने की वजह से बेड नहीं है।
कोरोना पेशेंट्स के बारे में सिचुएशन ये है सर कि यहाँ पे बेड इजीली अवेलेबल नहीं होते हैं। हालांकि मेरे एक रिलेटिव थे जिनको मैं लेकर यहाँ पे आया था, आने के बाद 2 घंटा तक बेड ही नहीं मिला, बेंच के ऊपर बिठा के ही उनको ऑक्सीजन वगैरह लगाया गया।
पेशेंट बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, बेड खाली नहीं है, मरीजों की जो देखभाल होने जानी चाहिए वो नहीं हो पा रही है।
In rural parts of Nagpur too, people are facing a similar ordeal. With crisis spinning out of control, the state just got some reinforcements.
Now yesterday an oxygen express train left from Jamnagar in Gujarat, and today it has arrived in Navi Mumbai Colombo station. Here in the visuals you can see these are the 3 oxygen tankers. It has around 45 metric tons of oxygen.
For the Maharashtra government, the momentous challenge is to deliver these supplies to every patient in need. And this time, the patients are spread far and wide. Bureau Report, India Today.
If you have the money and the wherewithal and homes or yachts in countries where the pandemic is contained, it is natural you may feel like leaving this country. People who have the means are absolutely doing this. It is a trend that has been witnessed in the upper crust of society. I bring you this report. It is a trend watch. India is in the grip of the ghastly second COVID wave. Traveling by air is almost unthinkable now. Scary with busy terminals and cramped spaces in commercial airlines. Fewer people and empty terminals. Sounds like music to the ears and far more appealing than ever before. But make no mistake, we are in the middle of a health disaster. The only thing is, some of these flights cost upwards of 72 lakhs, or in some cases a crore, depending on which aircraft you end up choosing. The spectacular imbalances in our country mean that while some gasp for oxygen outside hospitals, several Indians can't really afford to fly out of the country on deluxe jets to evade COVID's death grip.
To compare our business from 1920 to 2021, the market has been raised like approximate around 30 to 40%. We are getting the high demand. The volumes are gone up high around 15 to 20%. So the inquiry volumes and the people using the charter services has been gone up. So 20 and 21, I think it's good for the Indian aviation.
Similar to last year, we are observing an increase in the charter demand, just like the pandemic. There is a heavy demand for promoters and CEOs traveling to countries like UK, Europe. We are seeing an increase in requirement for business jets as well as air ambulances, helicopters too. And we hope and we are very well aware this demand will continue.
India has been put on the red list by many countries. And just before the gates close, India's rich and mighty may have fled the ghastly outbreak, beating the deadline set by these countries. The following countries have either banned travel from India or restricted inbound Indian passengers. A massive barrier that could only be beaten if you have the means for luxury private jets and the cash to get them off the ground quickly. Wealthy Indians have gone away to their homes in Dubai, London, or on their private yachts in Maldives. All of this to escape the outbreak in India and the collapse of healthcare infrastructure. They can fully afford the luxurious exodus, so they're clearly thinking, why not?
People are scared now. The high-profile people, the people who've got money, they're scared now because the numbers are going up. You take, for an example, Mumbai. Mumbai numbers were going up. So people are scared here. People want to have a safe life. So that's why they are choosing UAE, because the volumes of the numbers of COVID are down there. Maldives is almost a zero. So they say, if we got money, why can't we spend it to our family?
While the travel industry as a whole has seen an unprecedented downfall, the charter jet business has seen a demand uptick close to the tune of 40% versus the pre-pandemic era. And the main reasons include the flexibility, social distancing, empty terminals, COVID safety, flying solo or with family or friends, reduction of risk of exposure as well. 30 lakhs to a crore of rupees may look like a big amount to most of us. But look at it this way. The affluent who fly commercial airlines do so in the first class anyway. Hence, for the entire family, the math adds up.
On the number of passengers, we have got from 6-seater to 14-seater, 13-seater. If you want 6-seater, it will be charged around 25 to 30 lakh rupees UAE, because I'm not talking about one way. See, we charge one way and the return also at the same time. If you want to go to UK, it will cost you around 60 to 70 lakh rupees. If you want to go to Maldives, it will be around not less than 35 to 40 lakh rupees. So we charge both the ways. We don't charge a single way.
The pandemic has changed everything. In this case, it is the approach to private travel that has changed.
The safety net of a home in a country overseas is surely a luxury. In times like these, some of them prefer to make use of it. If one can afford it, the buck really stops there. In New Delhi, Shaiti Narula for India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.